Hi folks, how are you? It is late in the afternoon and we're once again out in the garden at the end of the day working our tails off. So I wanted to bring you out here and show you what's happening. It's June 1st. It's very, very hot. It was supposed to rain today, has not yet. It's about, I looked earlier and it was 88 degrees, so it's pretty hot out here and sticky and humid. But anywho, this is when we have the chance to do our work, so we came out here to do it. So I wanted you guys to take a look and see what we're doing. We're kind of trying something a little bit new this year. As you know, I planted 9 rows of my green beans here, my bush beans. And to try to keep several things from happening, we wanted to try to keep our weeds down this year. And then we also wanted to try not to have to water quite so much out here because it's kind of far from the house, and we're on a well, but it would work if we needed to. But we put what is called grass hay down here. It's not straw, but remember, it is not straw. It is hay. It's grass hay. We went to one of our local farms here and purchased it. What did we get? 4 bales? I think we got 4 bales. Not expensive, 5 bales. Not very expensive at all. But what we did this afternoon is we came out here and little by little we spread it out in between our rows of green beans. I've had some crappy jobs in my day. This would rate right up there with one of them. I think I'm covered in, I don't know, hay dust, I guess. I don't know what it is. I smell like a barn. It's gross, it's hot, but you know what, we got it done. We wanted to try it just for multiple reasons. Again, it's gonna keep us from watering. This is eventually gonna break down over time, and it's just great for the soil. It's basically like our compost. I mean, it's just gonna break down, go into the soil, and just enrich it more and more and more. So the goal for this is to pretty much not have to get back into this bean field and do much work until it's time to pick them. So we're hoping that it keeps the weeds down. Hopefully we'll not have to water too much, and I think it's gonna do great. Now, one of the things we tried in the past, last year or the year before, we actually used straw around our potatoes, as you can see there, and they look beautiful. They have the prettiest purple blooms on them. I don't know, it's just, they're very pretty. But one year we did put straw around them, and it was a bad idea because straw holds the moisture way more than a grass hay will, and it basically, it just molded. We put it around beans one time and it just kind of got moldy, stayed too wet. We ended up getting blight on our potatoes, just a mess. So do not do it with straw. Lesson learned. So what we did here is we just broke it up little by little, spread it between the rows. Again, if you're a small gardener, this is not necessary. This is just such a large patch. We wanted to try to minimize our work some, and we've done a lot of research. Well, Rob's done a lot of research about the benefits of using a grass hay, and I think it's going to work great. We're pretty excited. We also did our tomatoes. If you want to walk down this way, our tomatoes are looking great too. They're starting to bloom. Some of them are bigger than others, if you can see. Down there at the very end, you see there's no straw around, or no, not straw. There's no hay around those tomatoes down there. They're a little too small, so we're going to wait a little bit to do those. But we went ahead and put them, not necessarily too much between the rows, but what we did was we lifted the leaves up. Rob's like weaving everywhere. We lifted the leaves up and put the hay underneath them. You don't want the hay laying on top of your leaves. That's just not a good thing. So lift them up gently, put it underneath there. It's going to keep your weeds down, keep the moisture in. These are all determinate tomatoes, which means they grow up. And you know, we may end up having to stake them up, but they're not going to vine. So that's all of these here. I've got like 4 or 5 left to do, so I'm going to show you how I did it. And then what we're going to end up doing, we'll probably have to go get another bale or 2, but we'll probably end up doing it between the rows of corn maybe, and around the peppers as well. I don't think we're going to do around the potatoes because we already hilled them once, so I think you're not going to do that, are you?
No.
Nope, not on the potatoes. So we're going to see how this works. I think it's going to work like a charm. It better. It better after what I just went through. I'm just gross.
You should get Rob to help you.
Look. Yeah. No, Rob did a lot of it too before we started filming. So
You are nasty.
I did that over there. I'm gross. Just gross. But anywho, let me show you how to do it here. Try not to step on my cable here. So Again, this is just a bale that's been broken apart, and as you see, it's in clumps, right? It's kind of wet, so you're just gonna spread it apart just as best as you can. But what I'm gonna do on this, like this tomato plant here, I don't want to get on top of the leaves, right? So I'm just gonna break it apart, gently lift the leaves up, and just go underneath it. Nothing perfect, you know, I'm just spreading it out. Come over here. Just trying to get kind of close to the stem. See underneath there. And then I'm just gonna go around it a little bit. This will help keep it moist. Worst word in the world, they say. Keep the weeds down. Now, while we're out here, I'm gonna tell you, this electric fence is working like a charm. If you watched my video the other day, I don't know if I posted it yet, but I'm going to. Them daggone deer ate everything in the backyard that I didn't have a fence around or a net over. They ate my strawberries, ate carrots. I'm not gonna let it go. Rob's shaking his head. He's like, just forget about it, just forget about it. But strawberries are, you don't get a lot of them, and they only last for a couple years. You don't get any strawberries the first year, so you're waiting desperately for the second year, and then second year gets here and something eats them. So I'm letting it go for now, but I'll talk about it later. Let me do another one here just to show you. It's an easy job, it's just nasty. It's just a dirty job. But I will be grateful when I don't have to come out here and pull weeds around them. Because I don't know about you, but when these tomato vines get on my skin, I just like start itching and breaking out and everything. It's just yuck. So, I smell like I'm at the state fair or something. So, just pile it all around. We're determined, we're waiting, we got a couple blooms on here, so we're gonna think about leaving them on there. They're kind of small to have blooms on them, but I think it's gonna work. Let me do this one here real quick. And then you'll have the idea here. So in the hoop house behind me here, we've got a few more tomato plants. We've got some cucumbers growing up along the side of it. They're just now coming up, so I'll see how they work in there. We're pretty excited this year, other than strawberries. Trying not to get my leaves. And this will work around anything. I mean, you can put it around your zucchini plants if you want, which, you know, if I have extra, I'll do that up in the backyard, which I have a net over them. So it'll work around just about anything. Put it between your rows, keeps you from tilling so much. A lot of people don't like to till their land. So obviously we will not be tilling in between the rows of beans with the hay there. So I think that's gonna work. So what am I missing, Rob?
Watering. We really don't water plants when they're young, because we kind of want to get them right on the edge of where they're a little stressed, so the roots are reaching for water, and that makes a better root system. So
Try not to get the leaves, right?
right, when you do water, don't get the leaves. But before you water, what I do, you can do whatever you want, but what I do is I wait until the leaves start to curl, and then I water them. And then what happens is you have just a rock solid root system, and it'll produce a lot better tomato.
So that's the plan, Stan. So you can see my peppers there. Got some nice looking peppers there. All the corn's coming up. We're gonna get a couple more bales over the next, probably this weekend. Spread them out between the corn, just to, well, if you've had corn before, once it gets so tall, you can't get in there. You can't, you know, you'd be eaten alive by that stuff. Just the corn stalks touching you. Just, ugh.
I can get in there with my hoe.
Well, you can get in there with your hoe, but you don't want to walk through the rows, is what I'm saying. So
yeah.
You can get from the edge.
It's nasty.
Nasty job. So I'm gonna finish up these tomatoes, but I'm not gonna walk you guys through all that. You know how it works. So I'm gonna sign off here, go get cleaned up after I'm done here, and we'll probably be back tomorrow with another video. So you guys take care, work hard. Remember, please be nice. Bye.